See, my head is filled with demons, so I know that angels exist, feeling stuck at the bottom of the deepest sinking. Even though my heart is broken, empty moments, still I know I spit it potent, cold as frozen, flows of oceans. I've been rolling tides of hopeless minds divided, filled with lies. I killed my ties, but where's my motive, huh? I've been on this path so long, I forgot where home is. Real or worse, still disturbed. I feel reverse, going back and
Whoever sees this and subscribes right now will get a free introvert. Look, I really don't want to make a fuss about this, but just enjoy the free giveaway. What's going on, YouTube? It's Knox Hill, and we're back. Well, kind of with our reaction series, we're back with another one of our talks, another one of our one-on-ones. Yeah, I guess we can call this a reaction today. As you guys know, I read my comments, the good, the bad, the ugly, the troll. Some of you guys have been sharing this with me. You've been DMing it to me. You've been sharing it on Patreon as well. Shout out to the Patreon fam. But look, when you are at the top and have the longevity that a rapper like Eminem has, inevitably, there's going to be haters. There's going to be critics. There's going to be people that love you too. But whatever you do, it's always going to get put under the microscope when you're at that level of fame and celebrity. So I thought it would be interesting to not get the perspective on, you know, some of these music reviewers and critics and people that listen to M's music. Let's get the perspective on Eminem from some of these other rappers who are keeping lyrical rap alive, like we've talked about, who are a little bit more about sort of substance-based hip-hop and that style. And let's listen to what they have to say. So we're going to dive into this one and check it out. But before we go any further, guys, really quickly, I just want to shout out the live stream. Every Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're doing lives on this channel. We have had some crazy ones. We've done a full Rap God breakdown. We just did Royce da 5'9" and Eminem, Not Alike. Now, this weekend, we're actually going to dive into a little bit of rap beef history, and we're going to be looking at the beef between Eminem and Ja Rule and some of the tracks that defined that time. So yeah, tune in for that Saturday, man. It should be a good one. But anyways, let's get into this. Let's get into this video. I'm interested to see what we got, so let's just dive right into it.
Why do you think longevity rappers are getting so much hate? What longevity rappers are getting so much hate? You said rappers with an S at the end. So what rappers, you have to name a group of them. Everybody gets hate.
I think we only got one in mind, Hop.
Hate. All you guys are saying Eminem. I personally, I don't think Eminem gets a lot of hate. I think the only reason that you guys feel that way, or we may all feel that way as fans or whatever, is because he puts the spotlight on the hate. So then we know. It's like I think he just puts the spotlight on it, so then you're like, oh shit, people said things about him, and then we go, oh damn, that he's saying things about the people, and then I think it just makes it feel like that. But come on now, he has a lot of, like, dude, I only know.
I mean, it's true. We all get hate
on him because he said that people hate on him. That's why I mainly know about it. But I don't really I don't walk in the streets every day and people are like, yo, f that guy. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen.
All right, I get that. You know, Hop is talking about some of his experiences as an artist, and it's true. I mean, as artists, you guys don't get to see all the hate that we get. And I know the level that I'm at right now. I can't imagine being at Hopsin's level. Then I can't imagine taking that up even higher to a different tier, being at Eminem's level of following. It's inevitable. The more success that you have, the more haters you're going to have. And if you can't deal with hate and critique and criticism, then you are in the wrong industry. This is the entertainment industry. No matter what you do, someone's going to have a problem with it. You know, someone is not going to like something about you. Someone's going to have something to say about your art. We just have to take it on board. But if I showed you guys like some of the messages that get held for review on YouTube, and, you know, I get hate every single day. It is constant, you know, but you have to value it out. I mean, you have to weigh it out with all the positive messages. You know, for every 50 positive messages and comments, there's that one just super negative hate comment. But some of it, man, can get really vicious. And I get that. You know, the only time that hate gets put into the public eye and public window is when it gets shared. So one thing Eminem does definitely do is, you know, he's always in battle mode, and he's not afraid. He's that confident in his lyrical ability that he's not afraid to get into beef with people. We've seen that throughout his history. And coming up as a battle rapper, he's just used to that. So he's fine always being in battle mode. Not everyone is built that way. Not everyone, takes on board and deals with hate in that way. Other artists prefer just to ignore the hate, not to give it a spotlight, because it's true. The second that you put it in a song, the second that M mentions it, and even he has talked about this in the past, he puts it on blast and it goes from thousands of views to millions of views. Or if it's at millions, then it goes to billions. I mean, that's just the magnifying effect that Eminem has. So yeah, he definitely makes us more aware of the hate. I get what Hopsin is saying. But at the same time, if I can critique it a little bit, I do think Eminem also just gets a ton of hate because he's white. I mean, he's a white rapper in black culture and black hip hop. And I've gone through similar hate myself and my come up in my story, but not to the degree that he gets. But we saw it on that Clubhouse interview. We saw it when Stevie Knight talked about it. You've seen it when some of these other reactors talk about it. It's not just me that recognizes this. And that stuff got shared to me not via Eminem, not via listening to Eminem's music. That stuff was shared to me just from seeing it on social media, just seeing fans follow it. M has such a following that if someone says something about him, the fans are going to find it. The fans are going to share it. It's going to hit the news outlets. It's going to hit the media. People are going to talk about it. So it's not just necessarily Eminem casting light upon that. So on one side, I agree with what Hop is saying, and I get it. Because if you don't give it light, then maybe it doesn't encourage it as much. Maybe you get less critique because you're not giving the haters that time. I do see that side of the argument. But at the same time, if you don't have a problem with it like Eminem and your whole life has been about coming up through controversy and dealing with that, then yeah, you don't mind firing back at people. If you get punched in the mouth, you're going to punch back. You're going to swing back. And again, it's not all brought on by Eminem. There are people that are just out to get Eminem, that hold him to different standards. And we've made enough videos about it where we've gone through it. All right, who we got next?
I feel like it's really interesting now in with what's going on in hip hop. It's almost like you're a throwback to when lyrics mattered, because it feels like so much of hip hop today is more about personality and less about words. So it's interesting to hear the sort of clarity and depth.
I mean, we just talked about this literally a couple minutes ago, but this is one of the themes throughout this channel. If you support channels like mine, we're about keeping lyrical hip-hop alive. That's why I uplift like the Eminems of the world, the Joyner Lucases, the J. Coles, the different artists like this, the Logics, that keep lyrical rap alive in the mainstream, that keep it going so it doesn't get pushed down into the underground.
And less about words. So it's interesting to hear the sort of clarity and depth that you go lyrically.
I got my clarity just studying M when I was a kid.
Wow.
And he mentioned how Eminem inspired him and why he considers him one of the greatest lyricists of all time.
But then I heard Marshall Mathers LP. How does that work? What is he doing? How is he putting his words together like that? What is that? What's the track under it? Oh, that's a double. It's an ad-lib. I do that. How is he projecting? How is his words cutting through the beat like that?
That's wild, man. That's like the same effect that it had on me. First listening to it and just going, how does he cut through that way? And then that's when you start to learn and pay attention to the use of ad-libs. That's when you start to learn and pay attention to how he's using doubles behind the track and when he's layering and why is he layering? Does he want to push out on the beat? When is he not layering? Why is he doing it there? And then you start studying how things are mixed, how things are put together and portrayed. That's crazy, man. And Kendrick, we need to get to Kendrick on this channel. We need to give Kendrick some more shine. He's an amazing lyricist, an amazing MC. I mean, I can't speak highly enough about Kendrick Lamar.
How's his words cutting through the beat like that? His time is impeccable, When he want to fall off the beat is impeccable, And these are certain things that, I have to learn.
Lucky that you got to learn it as young as you were. Gave you the ability to grow so much.
Yeah, definitely.
How amazing is it, though, that an artist, to me, a top tier current MC, is still paying homage and saying that he learned from Eminem. And that's the Eminem effect, people. That's what Eminem does to hip hop, saying that, we can live without Eminem's music. Well, there's a lot of artists that other people listen to nowadays that you might listen to and bump even if you're not an Eminem fan, who were influenced directly by Eminem. We have interviews like this to show it.
During an interview with Angie Martinez on Power 105, J. Cole talked about his song Fire Squad. On it, he had a lyric that name-checked Eminem and other white rappers and posted that, quote, white people have snatched the sound of hip-hop.
The song where you refer to Elvis and
right.
Eminem. And
Fire Squad.
the only
To the headline of J. Cole, this is Eminem. Why does that headline exist? That
Yes.
headline that you saw,
Yes.
it's not the truth. It's not the action, but it is a perspective. They gave you the most enticing headlines. The news ain't set up to inform you. It's set up to make money.
for
Absolutely.
clarity.
We just did Tom McDonald's Fake Woke, and we talked a little bit about this, the media, and, you know, controversy is what sells, not messages of unity, not positivity. More often than not, it's the divisive headlines and politics that people will read and people support, and that's what sells newspapers. That's what sells articles.
Set up to inform you. It's set up to make money.
For clarity, or what is the true message?
No,
And then he talked about his admiration for Eminem and how he was inspired by him.
it's silly how big of an Eminem fan. When I had the song Let Nas Down and I talked about like hanging his raps up on my wall, he wasn't the only one. Select group of like top-notch people that I worship. Eminem was literally at the top of that list. My first song just sounded like an Eminem bite.
My first song sounded like an Eminem bite. I mean, again, man, and M had those lines. You know, he inspired the Hopsins, the Coles, the Logics. Like, this is J. Cole, an MC. Shout out to North Carolina that I look up to, man. I first got put on to J. Cole listening to Who Dat. Wow, man, that takes me back. But J. Cole, another hip-hop philosopher, man, another artist that I have a lot of time for. And it's just amazing to hear the influence that Eminem had on an artist like Cole as well, and Kendrick. I mean, that's another level to it. And it also brings up an interesting question because, you know, J. Cole has come under fire a number of times now for his lyrics. You know, where do we draw the line behind artistic integrity? When do we just let artists write what they want to write? The whole point of music is that it's an art form. It's a chance for us to express ourselves. Now, it might offend you. You might not like what we say. But at the end of the day, you know, where do we censor art? Where do we censor the creative process and what can happen with people and what they put out? You know, if we make it so that artists can't put something out because we're so worried about always offending someone, then can you call it true art? Can you call it art in its purest form then? You know, where does that argument end? And maybe that's not for this video. That's definitely an interesting discussion to have another day, but let's keep rolling.
Hey, man. Come on, man. That's
Young
that's
M.A.
the GOAT. I mean, that's top five dead or alive. To me, I don't care what nobody else talking about. To me, that's top five dead or alive. When I first got the hit up, my team hit me and said, you know, M wants you on his project. Like, yeah, he want to talk to you on the phone.
Young M.A. explained the experience she had the first time talking to Eminem.
I ain't gonna lie. I was like, I ain't even know, like, oh, let me talk to him. I was more so like, what am I gonna say to Eminem, man? So I kind of held up a little bit, like, oh, just send me, because Eminem is like, come on, bro, you know what I mean? Like, he's the truth. But eventually, you know, we got that conversation and we wound up speaking, and he just humble as hell, man, and I just was like honored. I'm just like, man,
that's amazing. That's amazing to hear about M's humility. And he does give that off in interviews. And he really is a super fan of hip hop. And it's not just old school hip hop that he shouts out and pays attention to. You know, he spends time listening to the artists who are coming up, listening to the next artist. That's why he gave Young M.A. a chance. That's why he put Juice WRLD on a track. You know, he's always looking for who's next and who he can support currently in the culture. And I love that about him, how he just interconnects hip hop throughout the years, man. And he's always giving back to the culture and to the art form.
He's the truth. But eventually, you know, we got that conversation and we wound up speaking, and he just humble as hell, man, and I just was like honored. I'm just like, man,
I mean, that's amazing.
For
I don't know what I would
out,
say to him.
You know what I mean?
Honestly.
That's not an everyday thing. Not to artists on the verge of still coming up and still making moves. You get a GOAT like that, or come down and holler. So I just appreciate it, man. And it's just somebody I always listen to. Like, this ain't cap. This is somebody I really thought was top five. A person that was in my top five.
Right.
So like, to have that reach out, it was just like dope.
So you got J. Cole putting M on the top of his list. You got Kendrick Lamar saying he's influenced by M. You got Young M.A. put him in the top five. Very interesting now when you look at some of the comments of some of these critics of Eminem, right? Saying that, oh, the streets don't listen to M. You know what I'm saying? Like, real people who support hip hop, real MCs, they don't listen to M. see the contradiction, don't you?
But what about top 5 M?
Oh, NF. Nate, when are you going to give us some more new music? Also, congratulations on being a dad, man. That's going to be an awesome journey for you.
But what about top 5 M songs?
I'd say The Way I Am. That song is ridiculous.
It is.
I think the Eminem show
Love
is
the
one of the
flow
best.
on that song.
White America.
Eminem show was my favorite.
Cleaning Out My Closet. There's so many dope songs. I don't know.
Logic.
I mean, there is. He's just jumping right into M's discography. You don't jump and list out specific Eminem songs if you're not an Eminem fan. And he's going back into the past to mention those things. It's not like he's mentioning something relevant or recent to this time. So it just shows you how long he himself has been supporting and influenced by him. That's cool, man.
What does meeting Eminem mean to you? I mean, was that something?
Oh, this is the Logic
I
H3
haven't been,
podcast.
He's the first rap verse I ever memorized on Forgot About Dre. It's Eminem, bro. You know?
The first rap verse I ever memorized on Forgot About Dre. That might be up there with me, man. Wow. And shout out to Logic. All right, I always got to give Logic a shout out. A fellow MD rapper, a fellow MD artist, man. You got to support your local artists. Always, always, always. Always got time for Logic, man.
He's the
Huge
first
Logic
rap verse
fan.
I ever memorized on Forgot About Dre. It's Eminem, bro. You know what I mean? It's like the GOAT.
Legend.
Yeah,
the
so
GOAT, really.
But
Okay.
I get
The
this
GOAT.
invite from him.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
and
recognition from really the highest place. right?
insane.
Logic recently performed at the Eminem's Hawaii show as a supporting act and also met him backstage.
And then I didn't realize the magnitude of shit. You know, his security guards tell my security guards to tell me that it's time. We walk there, and I'm there with Paul Rosenberg. And he walks me backstage. Who did I see first? I'm trying to remember. I think Alchemist came out. And then I saw Royce the
Alchemist,
5'9".
wow.
So seeing him
Royce,
made me
I mean,
a lot more comfortable.
I'd be
which is
starstruck
really
right
awesome.
there.
And then Eminem came out. And Eminem comes out in a fucking hoodie. And he's like, napkin in a napkin. No, I'm just kidding. Super fucking cool, man. Just like.
I like that. Hey, shout out to hoodies, by the way. knoxhilldmv.com. You want to support the channel? Chaos Theory merch out now.
Hoodie. And he's like, napkin in a napkin. No, I'm just kidding. Super fucking cool, man. Just like so. He's like, hey, what's up? I'm nervous. And I'm like, hey.
Logic said that Eminem is just like him and his buddies and loves to talk about rap.
The biggest thing was just talking hip hop. We talked about freestyles versus writtens versus like the era where
How
it was a
amazing would
really
that be?
special experience. And I won't really get into what we talked about because it's a memory for me.
Yeah.
But everybody, it wasn't just M, man. It was Mr. Porter and Royce. They were all just so kind, and it was an incredible experience. I'll always cherish. And he just loves rap.
Right.
He just loves rap.
I think that's what it is. And that's kind of what everyone recognizes here. It's just M's love of rap, M's love and passion for hip hop. And I share that passion, and we try to share those values on this channel. I think what's really cool is that M does create this community of fellow hip hop supporters, and he just creates this passion for the music, and you can tell the dedication to his craft. I mean, you don't remain in the game for as long as Eminem has if you don't have a true love for it, because you're past the point now of, you know, the successes, the record sales, the money. He's not doing it for any of that anymore. He doesn't need any of that. That's not what he's still in it for. You're only still here doing it if you truly, truly, truly love what you do and have a passion to be the best each and every day.
A lot of people
Joyner.
was pretty upset that Marshall wasn't on the album. Me and Marshall worked on a couple records. None of them really made the cut because they just didn't go with the album. And
I get that.
I'm not just gonna be like, let me just throw the song in there just because Marshall's on it, you know? It's like it works or it doesn't, you know what I'm saying? And
I mean, look, Chaos Theory had 20 tracks on it, which is just probably too many for an album. But there were tracks that I didn't put on it because it just didn't fit the flow. It didn't fit the vibe and the theme of it. Like, when you are putting together an album, it's different than just putting out singles, right? So tracks do get thrown out because they don't fit the flow of the album and what you're going for. And if you just put whatever singles that you wanted on the album, then it's not a true album. So no, Joyner shouldn't get hate for that if it doesn't fit with M, even though it's M, and it'd be amazing to have an M feature. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. Like, and you got to think about the art that you're creating. I get that.
Song in there just because Marshall's on it, you know? It's like it works or it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? And you know, maybe M will be on the next project. You know, maybe one of those records will end up on the next project.
I'd love to see that.
But M's my bro. We make good music together.
Hell
There
yeah,
will
you
definitely
do.
be more records coming out in the future, but I'm not pressed. He's not pressed. You know, we got our own thing going on.
I mean, that's it though. I would love to see more Eminem and Joyner Lucas. I love to see more M and Logic. Logic, please come back out of retirement. We need you, man. I would even love to see Eminem and NF. I'm not sure how that one will work, but that would be an interesting mashup. Man, just so many great artists on here who I respect, giving back flowers to one of the GOATs. It's just, this is the better side of hip hop. You know, stuff like this is what I like to see. And this is what encourages you as an artist. This is what inspires you as a fan, as a supporter, as a listener. That was cool, man. Thank you guys for sending that to me. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to smash that like button. Comment down below any other Eminem songs you want to see me do. Joyner Lucas, Logic, Kendrick Lamar songs, Young M.A., whatever, guys. I'm all for it. Comment your recommendations below. Also, don't forget to subscribe, notifications on. It bumps us up in the algorithm, lets us get seen by other people who might like reaction channels like this very one. Last, this is your reminder that Saturday, 1 o'clock Eastern time, we're back with another live stream. Eminem vs. Ja Rule. It's going to be a good one. As always, this is your reminder to stay safe, to stay positive. It's Knox Hill. I'll catch you in the next vid, guys. I'm out.